Hi everyone, I'm in my craft room this evening and I've got a problem. And you're looking at it. This is not effective in terms of my way of working, and I don't know what's in here, what colours I've got, what's going on. So my first attack is going to be to sort these, and then I'm going to show you what my plan is for trying to store them. So the thing is, I don't want to store them in a tub because they're just going to get lost, and I don't want them up on a wall, on a pegboard or something like that. I'd still want to be able to put my paints away in a cupboard so they're out of sight, just to make my craft room look clean, because when it's looking clean and tidy, then I know that I am more creative. So I've found something that I can put them into, but I can't, well, I don't want to show you that yet until I sort this mess out and just see exactly how they're going to fit into that. So let's get sorting. Alright, that is quite a collection so far, and as you can see, I haven't really stuck to one brand as such. I'm pretty sure I've got a few more in the cupboard, so I'm going to go searching, make sure I've got them all here. I'm actually really liking the Liquitex brand, so I've got a couple of those. I'm pretty sure I've got some more of those somewhere. And these Kaisercraft ones, some of these ones, they've been around. Like, I've had these for years, like we're talking 15 years. I mean, until I start opening them up and having a little bit of a whiff, this is going to probably severely cross out a few of these. And obviously with the Montmartre, they're very, they come from the cheap shop up the road, so good for having a bit of a practice with. So let's go searching. I'm going to go searching for any other paints that I might have lying around, and then I'm going to do a little bit of a sort through and work out what's good and what's not, and then I'll come back. Actually, this isn't working very well because all I'm doing is moving paint from one into the other. I think that what I need to do is actually group these in colours, because I'm seeing that I've got a lot of weirded out colours here. So I think I'm just going to put them all together, like all my greens, like the mints, the lights, and just see what I have in terms of the colour palettes that I have. I think this is the way to go. A lot better. And I know that it mixes up the brands, but so be it. So I think I'll do that and just put them off to the side so I can have my desk space back, and then we'll work on the carrier. All right, so here's my scatterbrain idea. I've picked up one of these. I'll just take you up a little higher so you can see down. There we go. I picked up one of these from Spotlight today, and I had lots and lots of, well, actually picked up two of these, and I've got lots and lots of these rods left over from, actually that's a straw, don't need that, from some of the Christmas stuff that I bought. And I'm thinking, because I've also got lots of these beads, this is where my mind's gone, I'm going to put a bead on the end of each one of these, and I'm going to make some rows here where the paint, so if I take one of the bigger ones, for example, the paint can sit up in that row on its angle. And I know that it's up the wrong way, but I don't care. All right, so just like that. And I can line them up without them constantly falling over, as long as I don't take too many out. If worst comes to worst, I can always put in like another little section or another one of these going back the other way to make the grid. But for now, I'm just going to focus on doing this. So first of all, I need to attach the beads to the ends of the pieces here. If this isn't going to cut it, then I'll have to use some E6000 or something like that to really give it a good bond. Like I said, I'm just experimenting. I didn't want to go out and buy pegboard. I didn't want to go out and buy a whole new storage unit. These tubs are absolutely amazing because they will fit inside my cupboards as well, that just on their side, so I can store them away. So there you go, like that, little bit of a drumstick. So let's bring back this, and I need to make sure that I measure, otherwise if I wing it, it's just going to be crazy. All right, so the only reason I put the beads on is because the rod wasn't long enough. I could have gone and got more rod, but I'm not going to. I'm refusing to do that. If this doesn't work, then it'll be plan B. But for right now, we're going with plan A. I'm just trying to save a few pennies for the craft room, okay? Okay, so I'll hold it there for a second. Get some at the other end. All right. Just taking a little bit for it to stay sticky. I think this might be okay. All right, I'm going to let that one stay where it is for the time being, and I'm going to make up the other three, and then we'll come back and see if that one's kept up its strength. That's got some strength to it. I'm liking it. All right, let's put the other ones in. So there's that bit. So let that cool down for a little bit, and then we'll see if the paints will actually sit in there okay. And while that is drying off down there, I'm doing something a little bit crazy, and that is taking a little bit of the paint and painting the ends of the paints that I do have, so that I can see from the top what they're looking like. I'm not going to do this one. This one's going to be too big to fit in there, so it's going to have to sit on its own. So let's have a look, shall we? And see whether these will in fact sit in here. Try not to touch them. They're probably going to bump onto each other, but they can dry in here. I'm going to use this as a drying rack. And any of the paint that doesn't quite look okay, I'll come back and give it another coat. But so far, so good. All right, that's looking pretty cool. This looks to be a success. Let's keep going. I've already got paint on it. I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to worry about painting the wood, because if I paint the wood, it would end up just getting paint all over it anyway. So I'm going to continue on here, and we'll come back after I've done a few more rounds of the paint lids. All right, just in case you were wondering, I gave up on the paintbrush. And instead, I'm getting my fingers a bit dirty. All right, ready for the grand reveal. Here we go. So they've all fit in really quite well. I don't want to shake this around very much. There's a chance that they might sort of lean and fall. But you know what? This is so much better. I have taken everything that was in that box, apart from a couple of things that you can see sitting here at the side here. So some bits and pieces. And all those paints that were in the box originally when I started this video are now upright in this one. So the paint's all still a little bit wet, so I really don't want to touch it or cream anyone else in. And I guess the proof in the, or anything else in, the proof in the pudding will actually be to see whether or not, yeah, this holds up. I hope it does, because yeah, look, it's going to be amazing. And then I can just get this one crate out and I've got all my paints there. So I'm pretty happy with this one. Thanks for sticking around and watching the video, everyone, on how to create this really cool, very cheap paint holder. So the crate itself was $12 at Spotlight, and these are the beads and things I bought just from a cheap shop up the road. I don't know how much they were a packet. But yeah, a really fun project to get yourself organised, and this is going to fit beautifully. And instead of having that great big tub over there full of paint just sitting on the floor, I can have this now put away properly within my craft space. So I'm very, very happy. Thanks for sticking around and watching the video, everyone. I'm just going to go get cleaned up and I will see you in the next one. Bye.